Chapter 1. Hard work might not always pay off immediately, but it comes through in the long run. It may seem unbelievable, but thinking that talent is in the genes of all successful people is absurd. You can actually become successful in anything if you learn to be focused and consistent. But unfortunately, some people want success to jump at them without them doing anything. This is what differentiates geniuses from ordinary people. The determination of high achievers is expressed in hard work, resilience, and a sense of direction. Yet we often wonder why high achievers are relentless in their pursuit of success. This is because, despite the unlikelihood of achieving their set goals, they didn't focus on their own shortfalls or dissatisfaction. Instead, they consistently pursued their ambitions with an unrivaled focus, believing that the process was just as important as the destination, even if the process was tedious. Grit simply means being courageous, having a strong resolve, and being persistent in doing something, no matter the difficulties that come with it. It has to do with bravery and strength of character. To be highly successful in anything, you need to have both passion and perseverance. This tidbit is aimed at unearthing all the mysteries surrounding success while unmasking all the myths that have been passed across generations about talent. You will learn that your efforts are more beneficial in achieving your set goals than just talent. Some people are great when things are going well, but they fall apart when things aren't. Angela Duckworth. Chapter 2. If you want to stand out from the crowd, you need to put in the extra work. We are not all talented in the same areas. It is possible you will find some things easier to do compared to others. There are also definitely other areas where you are unable to do what others find easy. However, with much effort, you can achieve anything in life. In every field of life, the gritter you are, the more successful you become. Success is not all about grit. Other factors such as parental support, exercise, experiences also come into play. Psychologists like Francis Galton and William James believed that although talent is based on individual differences, people tend to have many gifts, and only exceptional people make use of what they have. Another psychologist, Kia Young Se, asserted that people are drawn to talents. No matter how much you like effort, if we had to choose between talented people and hard workers, people often go for naturals. Talent is not a bad thing. On the contrary, it is amazing. However, what is not okay is the trend of favoring the talented, those who learn a skill faster than others, as is evident in shows such as America's Got Talent. If we focus too much on our talents, we will relegate other factors, such as grit, to the background. This tends to affect the holistic growth of a person and can even distract them from making efforts towards their goal. Chapter 3. Your potential is just a dream if you don't put in the effort required to make it work. Almost everyone is guilty of making the comparison between talent and hard work. Even if it's just really easy to attribute good performance to talent, it is actually a result of habits that have been learned and done consistently and correctly over time. Putting too much emphasis on talent distracts us from everything else. Don't hurriedly call people talented because they are successful. Seek to know other things they do that contribute to their success. Angela Duckworth gave an explanation of how people go from talent to achievement using these two equations. Talent times effort equals skill. Skill times effort equals achievement. The improvement you see in your skills when you put your effort into something is talent. Using your skills is what leads to achievement. Effort is appearing twice in this formula because your talent improves with effort. This is because anything you do becomes easier with much practice and more effort. Accomplishment is taking a step that others won't take and doing what is needed to achieve success. Grit is about being committed to the goal no matter how difficult it becomes. Finally, productivity is the resultant effect of talent. This is because talent becomes a skill after much effort has gone into it. Effort builds skill. At the very same time, effort makes skill productive. Angela Duckworth. Chapter 4. In the end, the reason why what you do will be successful is that you didn't give up. Have you ever started a business venture, chosen a career path, and had to abandon it somewhere along the line? I bet you have. Almost everyone at some point has had to give up on a task, and this is okay if it doesn't happen frequently. Grit is not limited to hard work. It is more about endurance. It's about focusing on one thing until you achieve your desired result. Grit is also about going after your passion and being consistent. It takes a lot of time to be proficient in a skill, hence, don't easily give up on what you set out to do. Grit is about passion and perseverance. To build your grit, you need passion. It's not something you rush out to do. It's more about consistently doing what you're passionate about until you succeed in it. Sometimes people tend to be so elated about new ideas without the willingness to act on them. This is not passion. Passion is the driving force that pushes you toward your desired goal. It sparks up devotion in you to stay true to your cause over time, whereas perseverance is what keeps you in what you're passionate about. In maintaining your grit, you need a clearly defined goal. When you become certain of your goals, it helps you set priorities right and keep you on the right path. One of the ways you can determine if you're on the right path are your goals will point towards a specific purpose. Grit means sticking to one path, but does not mean stubbornly pursuing all the goals you set. Knowing when to quit is an important part of life. Some goals have to give way for others because life comes with unexpected changes and detours. This doesn't mean you do not have grit. Pursue the goals that lead you to your passion. Chapter 5. Don't be disappointed if you are not as courageous as you expect. Grit grows, so give it more time. Like every other psychological trait, grit is influenced by both experience and genes. And over generations, the environment has enriched humans such that, as you grow, you're learning new things through trial and error. There is no habit you can't develop, and you can even teach others if only you learn to grow your grit. Your experiences from years ago have shaped you immensely because they changed your views about life and brought to the fore otherwise buried talents in you. Who you are now is a function of culture and all the experiences you've had. To grow your grit, you need the following. Interest. Your interest is tied to what you're passionate about. It makes you enjoy what you do. Capacity to practice. When you constantly practice a thing, you become better at it. Purpose. You must know that what you do matters a lot because it is connected to others. Hope. This plays an essential role in grit. Hope is what keeps you going when things get tough. To be successful, you need to ensure that you love what you are doing. Your happiness and satisfaction in life are tied to how much you love your work. Most people are in a job they don't love. This is why they are struggling to get by. It is better to put your energy into things that fascinate you so you can enjoy your work. To find your passion, you need to discover, develop, and deepen your goals. Discovery starts from childhood, and the older you get, the more you know your passion. This discovery is facilitated by the people in your environment. Most times, it takes a while for people to know what they are passionate about, and they can even make a lot of mistakes along the way. As you have discovered your passion, the next thing is to develop it. Development requires growth, and you need a good environment to achieve that. Deepening is something you should do throughout your lifetime. It involves evaluating yourself to determine your progress. Did you know? According to a 2013 report by the Washington Post, only 13% of people globally are passionate about going to work. Chapter 6. You owe it to yourself to be committed to deliberate practice. Cognitive psychologist Erik Erikson's research revealed that you need to practice a thing for 10,000 hours to gain mastery. Most successful people want to be better than their current level, thus, they know they need to practice more. The beauty of practice is not in the amount of time you invest in doing an activity. It is about the different approaches you bring into that thing each time you practice. This is what Angela Duckworth calls deliberate practice. Below are some steps that will help in deliberate practice. Set a challenging objective that is based on getting better in any area of weakness. A combination of attention and effort is what will help you actualize your goals. Seek feedback from others so you know the areas to improve on. When you do these steps frequently, you will become more competent. Deliberate practice is capable of improving your skills, but it can be very stressful because it requires more effort. Discovering your purpose has a way of igniting your passion. The main aim of purpose is to impact those around you. You need grit to see your purpose to a successful end, even when things are difficult. A very important way to do this is to see your career as a calling and not just as a job. This ensures you give your best at all times. No matter your age, social status, or gender, purpose can change your life and others. On the journey toward success, even after discovering purpose, you need to have a role model that inspires you in different ways and whom you can turn to when things get tough while you find ways to solve a problem in society. Chapter 7. Hope is needed to preserve the gritty culture across generations. Grit thrives on the belief that with your efforts you can make things better. It doesn't wait for the universe to magically align for anything to happen. It believes in you, and it has nothing to do with luck or chances, but everything to do with effort. Hope is what holds it all together when things don't make sense anymore. Being hopeful in the face of difficulties is one way to remain gritty. Your past experiences, both good and bad, have a way of affecting your mindset, including the response of people to your actions. So it is crucial to be around positive people. If you fix your mind on growth, you will be optimistic no matter the situation you are in, and you will be motivated to endure in times of adversity. Family is the core of everyone's existence. As a parent, it is important that you show affection and still express expectations while putting your child first. This child-centered kind of parenting creates room for freedom of expression and growth. Authoritative parenting is more beneficial to all involved, as it makes for correct judgment of your children's needs while giving enough love necessary to achieve their goals. This authority is based on knowledge and wisdom garnered through your own experience and not an unnecessary abuse of power. Your level of grit inspires your child daily, so you have to work on being grittier than you already are. To further enhance grit, an extracurricular activity, ballet, gymnastics, swimming, and any other ones you can think of where an adult who is not a child's parent but is supporting and demanding, is in charge, i.e. a coach, can be of tremendous help, as these pursuits are designed to cultivate interest, practice, purpose, and hope. If you are not a parent yet, or you don't ever plan to be, you still have to be gritty, because a lot of people you are not even aware of look up to you in different ways on a daily basis. Conclusion. Your culture, the shared norms of a group you belong to, shapes everything about you and is the reason you are the way you are now. To grow grit, you have to join a gritty culture, one that inspires you to be more than you currently are. And if you ever happen to be a leader, create a gritty culture for your team members. It seems better to give up, often because it doesn't look like your effort will yield any benefits. This is the point where culture matters. This is where you need a push that only a group that understands your goals can give. As you make progress in life, you will experience many limitations that are just due to fear and lack of grit. Don't be too quick to give up. You have exactly what it takes. There are a lot of potentials in you that can only be discovered when you get out of your comfort zone. Passion is an awesome thing to have, but is hardly ever enough. When challenges come and even your hard work fails you, grit will not. Grit is what will push you to persevere, even when it doesn't look like there's any reason to. Talent is overrated. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to once you are ready to work for it. Tough times that come will only make you more refined and strong enough for the next challenge. Try not to give up. Try this. Set a high-risk goal with a time limit. Pay undivided attention to it and seek feedback from family and friends. This will put your grit to the test. Watch how you perform in this task and prepare to unlock a different level of self-improvement.